How much did you pay the last time you filled up your tank? $50, 70, 100. Now I want you to close your eyes and imagine paying double that, because that is exactly what is about to happen in Illinois. And Governor J.B. Pritzker is betting that you won't notice until it is far too late to stop it. Before we dive into this financial hurricane that is headed straight for your wallet, I need to ask you something. If you're getting value from this channel, if you care about protecting your family's finances from politicians who think your money belongs to them, hit that subscribe button right now. 90% of the people watching this aren't subscribed yet. Don't be part of that group. And smash that like button so more people can see what is really happening in Illinois before the damage is irreversible. Welcome back to Tax Hack Pro. Today, we are exposing the Illinois gas tax disaster and the terrifying parallels to the California nightmare. Let's talk about the California nightmare first, because it is the crystal ball for Illinois' future. California is currently drowning in a gas crisis that experts predict will push prices to over $8 per gallon in 2026. Let me say that again. $8 per gallon. Can your budget survive that? Here is what nobody in Springfield wants you to know. Illinois is following the exact same playbook that destroyed California's energy independence. The same regulations, the same tax hikes, the same anti-business policies. And we are about to get the same devastating results. Two major California refineries are shutting down. Phillips 66 is closing its massive Los Angeles refinery. Valero is considering similar moves. This is eliminating nearly 20% of the state's gasoline production capacity overnight. And USC professor Michael Misha projects gas prices could hit $6.43 per gallon by late 2025 and soar to $8.43 in 2026. Why are these refineries closing? Because California's government made it impossible for them to operate profitably. They taxed them to death. They regulated them out of existence. They created a hostile environment where producing energy became a liability, and now California families are going to pay the price, literally. But here is the terrifying part. Illinois is speedrunning the exact same disaster. Your bill just went up, and you probably didn't even realize why. While you were focused on holiday shopping, Illinois utility companies hit you with massive rate increases that are silently draining your bank account. Natural gas supply prices in northern Illinois jumped between 15% and 56% higher than last year. Let me break that down in real numbers so you understand the scale of this theft. Nicor gas customers saw their December supply price spike 56% compared to last December. That isn't a typo. 56% in 1 year. Imagine if your grocery bill went up 56%. Imagine if your rent went up 56%. That is what is happening to your heating bill, but it gets worse, way worse. Since 2017, Nicor has increased delivery rates 5 separate times, totaling $898 million in rate hikes. That is a 137% increase in just a few years. And Peoples Gas, they have raised rates by $499 million, a 98% increase since 2011. Now here is the part that should make your blood boil. Nicor's parent company, Southern Company, raked in $3.9 billion in profits over just the first 9 months of 2025. Billions in profits. While you are turning down the thermostat and putting on an extra sweater, they are counting billions. These aren't companies hurting for money. They are printing cash while Illinois families choose between heating and eating. And then there is the gas tax nobody talks about, the hidden tax that keeps climbing. On July 1st, Illinois will quietly raise your gas taxes again, and most people won't even realize it happened until they look at the receipt. Illinois currently has the second highest gas tax in the nation at 45 cents per gallon, and it is jumping to 48.3 cents on July 1st. That puts us right behind California, which charges about 61 cents per gallon. Seeing a pattern here, we are chasing California off the economic cliff, but let's talk about the real scandal. In 2019, Governor Pritzker doubled the state gas tax, but he didn't just double it. He built in automatic annual increases. Think about that strategy for a second. It is diabolical. Politicians never have to vote on these increases again. They never have to put their name on a bill. They never have to face angry voters after raising taxes. It just happens automatically, every single year, forever. It is taxation on autopilot. Because of Pritzker's 2019 gas tax scheme, drivers are paying an extra $143 annually after the July 1st increase. And the state excise tax on gas has jumped from 19 cents before 2019 to over 48 cents now. And here is the kicker. When you add federal taxes, state taxes, local taxes, and sales taxes together, Illinoisans pay more than 85 cents per gallon in taxes alone. 85 cents before you even pay for the actual fuel. Illinois and California are the only states taxing above 80 cents per gallon. Do you see where this is going? We are in an exclusive club of economic misery. While Illinois families are being crushed by inflation, Governor Pritzker just passed the most expensive budget in state history, and he needed over $1 billion in new taxes to pay for it. The Illinois General Assembly passed a $55 billion budget requiring $1.1 billion in new taxes and collection increases. That is billion with a B, folks. This spending plan represents a $2 billion increase over the previous fiscal year, making it the undisputed most expensive budget in Illinois history. Let me put this in perspective so you can see the trajectory. When Pritzker took office in 2019, the state budget was about $40 billion. Now it is $55 billion. That is a $15 billion increase in just 6 years. That is a 37% increase in government spending while the state population is shrinking. Where did all that money go? Certainly not to fixing the roads you are paying those massive gas taxes for. Drive down a -55 or a -290 and tell me if you see $15 billion worth of improvements. You don't, because the money isn't for you. And here is what really shows you Pritzker's priorities. Pritzker proposed cutting the standard income tax exemption for Illinois families. This would effectively act as a tax increase on more than 11 million individuals. For a family of 4, this means keeping an extra $45 that should have gone to them. Now, $45 might not sound like much to a billionaire governor. It might be a rounding error for his lunch bill. But for working families already crushed by inflation, that is groceries, that is gas money, that is a prescription copay, that is real money, and he wants to take it. Let's talk about the governor who is doing this to you while planning his run for president. J.B. Pritzker is a billionaire. His family is worth billions. He doesn't feel these tax increases. He doesn't stand at the pump watching the numbers tick up with a knot in his stomach. He doesn't choose between heating his mansion or buying groceries. But you do. Pritzker's 2025 budget called for $898 million in new taxes. And the largest tax hike was extending Illinois' cap on net operating losses, hiking corporate income taxes by $526 million in fiscal year 2025. Here is what Pritzker does while your bills skyrocket. He travels the country laying the groundwork for a 2028 presidential run. He gives speeches in California, New Hampshire, and other early primary states. He positions himself as the anti-Trump resistance leader. And while he is building his national profile on your dime, Illinois families are drowning in taxes. He is using Illinois as a stepping stone, and he is stepping on your wallet to get there. But wait, there is more. Progressive interest groups are now demanding an additional $6 billion in tax hikes. That is not a typo. $6 billion in additional taxes on top of everything else. The appetite for your money is insatiable. They will never say, "We have enough." Illinois politicians looked at your gas tax bill and thought, "That's not enough. Let's track every mile you drive and tax that, too." Illinois lawmakers have proposed a pilot program to study charging drivers by the mile instead of a gas tax. And the reason they are giving is almost laughable if it wasn't so infuriating. They claim that because electric vehicles and fuel-efficient cars don't pay enough gas taxes, they need to find a new way to squeeze money out of drivers. Never mind that electric vehicle owners already pay a $100 premium on their annual license plate renewal to offset losses to the Illinois motor fuel tax. They are already paying extra, but the state wants more. But here is what this is really about: control and surveillance. A mileage tax means the government tracks everywhere you drive. They know when you leave for work. They know when you pick up your kids. They know every trip to the grocery store, to the doctor, to your family's house, and they want to tax it all. Oregon and Utah already implemented this Orwellian system. 5 other states, including Pennsylvania and California, are considering it. Illinois wants to be next. Think about that. Not only will you pay the second highest gas taxes in America, but they also want to charge you for every single mile you drive in your own car on roads you already paid for. On top of that, everything I have just told you is converging into a crisis that will devastate Illinois families, and it is happening right now. Let me connect the dots for you so you can see the full picture. California's refinery closures are about to send gas prices to $8 per gallon because of excessive regulations and a hostile business climate. Illinois is implementing the exact same policies. We are following the leader off the cliff. Illinois' natural gas delivery rates have shifted from making up 1/3 of your bill to nearly 2/3. This means utility companies are making massive profits on infrastructure improvements while you foot the bill. The actual cost of the gas isn't the problem, it's the delivery fees that line corporate pockets. Gas taxes keep rising automatically every year thanks to Pritzker's 2019 scheme. No accountability, no votes. No way to stop it. It is a zombie tax that never dies. The state budget has exploded by $15 billion in 6 years, requiring constant tax increases to fund Pritzker's spending addiction. The government is growing faster than the economy, faster than your wages, and faster than the population. And now they want to implement a mileage tax to track and tax every mile you drive. This isn't a series of unrelated problems. This is a coordinated assault on working families' ability to afford basic necessities. Let me show you exactly what this means for your family budget, the numbers that should terrify you. Right now, Illinois average gas price is around $2.90 per gallon. That seems reasonable compared to where we are headed, but remember, that price is artificially low right now. If Illinois follows California's trajectory, and all the evidence shows we are on that exact path, we are looking at gas prices doubling or even tripling within the next 2 years. Your average fill-up that costs $50 today, that becomes $100, maybe $150. Your heating bill that is already up 56% this year. Add another 20 to 30% next year as utility companies continue their rate increase bonanza. They have no incentive to stop because the regulators keep saying yes. Your income taxes. Pritzker just proved he is willing to nickel and dime families out of their standard exemptions to grab another $93 million. He will look for every cushion in your couch to find loose change. Add it all up, and we're talking about thousands of dollars per year in additional costs that Illinois families simply cannot afford. $5,000, maybe $7,000 a year in extra costs just to live the same life you lived 5 years ago. And here is the cruelest irony. The state is collecting an extra $2 billion from fewer people. As the number of registered passenger vehicles in Illinois went down by more than 580,000 from 2018 to 2024, people are fleeing Illinois. They are packing U-Hauls and heading to Indiana, to Tennessee, to Florida. They are voting with their feet. And instead of asking why, instead of looking in the mirror and asking why residents are leaving in droves, Pritzker's solution is to squeeze the people who remain even harder. The fewer people left, the more each of you has to pay to keep the bloated machine running. The truth nobody in Springfield wants you to know is this: Illinois doesn't have a revenue problem. Illinois has a spending problem. And a corruption problem. The state collected $6 billion from drivers through gas taxes, tolls, and fees. $6 billion. Where did it go? Certainly not to the roads, which remain a disaster in most of the state. Drive through Chicago and dodge the craters. That is where your money didn't go. Utility companies are spending aggressively on infrastructure to drive up rates and boost profits with incentives that reward them for spending more, not spending wisely. The system is designed to extract maximum money from you while delivering minimum value. And the politicians running this scam think you are too busy. They think you are too tired from working 2 jobs. They think you are too distracted by social media to notice. They are betting on your apathy. They are wrong. California families are waking up to the gas price nightmare their politicians created. Even Governor Newsom now admits, we are all the beneficiaries of oil and gas, after spending years demonizing the industry. But that admission comes too late for California families who will soon pay $8 per gallon. The damage is done, the refineries are closed, the prices are locked in. Illinois families don't have to make the same mistake. We still have a window of opportunity, but it is closing fast. The choice is yours. I started this video with a question. How much did you pay the last time you filled up your tank? Remember that number. Write it down, because in 2 years it might be double. In 5 years, if Illinois continues down this path, you might not be able to afford to drive at all. California thought it couldn't happen to them. They thought they were too big to fail. They were wrong. Now they are facing $8 gas and refineries fleeing the state. Illinois is making the exact same mistakes, following the exact same playbook, and we are going to get the exact same results unless people wake up and demand change. The gas tax increases are automatic. The utility rate hikes are approved behind closed doors. The budget grows every year regardless of what families can afford, and Pritzker is off planning his presidential campaign while Illinois burns. But here is the thing, none of this is inevitable. None of this had to happen, and all of it can be stopped if enough people pay attention and hold politicians accountable. So I am asking you right now, are you going to keep letting them pick your pocket? Are you going to accept gas prices doubling because politicians created a hostile business climate? Are you going to let them track every mile you drive so they can tax you more? Or are you going to say enough is enough? Share this video with everyone you know in Illinois. Send it to your family group chat. post it on Facebook. Make sure they understand what is coming. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss updates on this developing crisis. And most importantly, remember these facts the next time you vote. Remember who did this to you. Remember who thought your money belonged to them. Remember who destroyed California and is now bringing that disaster to Illinois. Your wallet depends on it. This is Tax Hack Pro. I'll see you in the next video. Stay informed, stay angry, and hold these politicians accountable.